Hello and welcome to the second episode of the My Favourite Things Knitting podcast. Today is the 1st of July 2023 and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland where I live with my gecko. And you can find me on Instagram as milahism.things and that's where I'm the most active, so you can kind of only find me there. Today is a rather cloudy day, so I hope the lighting would be okay. Actually, it should be the best now. Conditions are perfect. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's a perfect day for podcasting, so here I am. Today I'm gonna show you my finished object, which is the one I'm wearing. And I'm also gonna show you again one I showed you last week. No, on the last episode. Because I have blocked it now and it looks way better than it did. I have also a few WIPs, two, and I have a little bit of acquisitions and some plans for them. So I think that's it. Oh yeah, and I will have everything I talk about linked down in the description below, and I will also try to put everything on the screen. I will write the pattern names, designer's name, etc. on the screen for you. But if you have any question regarding everything or anything I talk about, do not hesitate to ask in the comments and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. First, what I'm wearing is my latest finished object. This is the outline tank by Jessie Mae and I love it so much. It came out perfectly. For once, I didn't have to read back anything. It went smooth sailing. It was a really nice experience. I really love it. So I used hand-dyed yarn by Olivia and Oliver Fibers. She's based in the Netherlands. The colorway is, I don't know how to say it, so I'm just gonna write it here. And it's a really nice green and yellow and brown. It's really summery and fresh and it's absolutely perfect for now, so yeah. I had this yarn for a year in my stash and now was the perfect time to knit it, so there it is. The base is, actually I have the leftovers here. The base is a classic sock, so it's a 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's a fingering weight 2-ply high twist yarn, so it's very suitable for socks, but obviously it also works for garments, so yeah. I knit the size 1 from the pattern on 3.5mm needles, which is what was suggested in the pattern. I did some modifications, but not that much actually. I only changed the bottom part. In the pattern you're supposed to do a ribbing. I didn't, because first I don't like ribbings on the bottom of summer garments. I don't know, it's just a me thing, I don't like it. And also because I didn't have the smaller needles for it when I cast on. So I decided to do a folded over brim, which is what I usually prefer. And you are also supposed to use smaller needles for folded brim, but yeah, I didn't have them either, so I just cast on fewer stitches. And then I increased them when I did the fold. And I messed up because I had cast on the wrong number of stitches, so my calculations were not working, but anyway. Now it's over. The sizing is a bit weird. I think it's like maybe 4 stitches bigger than the smaller size, or I don't know. But it's fitting perfectly and I'm really happy about it. I don't think... Yeah, the back is the same as the front, so nothing more to show there. And that's it. And the leftovers, I'm gonna do something with it, but I will talk about that in a minute. Next up, we have another finished object, which I talked about in the last episode, but now it's blocked, so it's even more amazing. This is huge. This is... oh my god. Yeah. It's absolutely huge. It's the Moonbumps by Max the Knitter. Maxime's here. and it's a wrap, or not a shawl, but a scarf, or I don't know, it's a thing you put around you to keep you warm. So it's absolutely not the season, I know, but I don't know, sometimes I just follow my gut, and I wanted to do that now, so I did. I knit this using Nutiden Half Double. The colorway is Omge, which is a beautiful dark navy blue. And the orange part is a silk, 100% silk. I bought from a store in... do not know how to say this town, this city in English, so I'll just write it. So yeah, I bought this yarn when I was on vacation there, maybe 2 years ago. And it's a perfect match, even though it's silk with Nutiden, which is an unspun yarn. It's perfect. And also, when I blocked it, I did a kind of aggressive blocking, but yeah, really aggressive blocking, because it was kind of small, and also the I-cords were really tight, which I knew would happen. But I tried my best to be really loose when I knit them, and I knew with blocking I could just stretch them out to the max and see what happens. And it stretched a lot, actually. The I-cord is kind of tight, and the fabric inside is not, but it's still okay to wear. So yeah, in the end, I think it's like 2 meters 50, even more. I don't know, it's huge. And I can wear it with one loop, like this, and still have it hang nicely, or maybe with 2 loops. And it looks perfect. Oh, I love it so much. I'm so happy. Yeah. What I'm very surprised about is that the Nutiden is actually really drapey, which is probably due to the fact that I stretched it a lot while blocking. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that, and don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's very drapey. It looks very nice. It's not due to the silk, because there is not enough to really affect the fabric's drape, but yeah, it looks nice. I'm very happy about this one, and I'm gonna wait patiently for winter to come back to wear it. Or maybe not, probably in September I can wear it already, because it gets quickly kind of cold in Switzerland, but yeah. This is the second finished object. So now let's talk about my WIPs. So first, yeah, the 2 WIPs I have, I had already mentioned in the last episode, so you will already know about them if you went and see the first episode, which I do not ask you to do so, but there will be a lot more information about them there. So first we will begin with, please stay here, with my granny square blanket. So I had shown those squares, which are the ones from the Ted Knits UK Cosmos Advent Calendar for 2022. I have finished all the squares. I need 2 squares per mini, which were 20 grams fingering weight minis. And I had finished them, but I found out that the blanket would be kind of small, and so I thought maybe I could use the 100 grams fingering weight skein I got with the Advent and do more squares with it. And while doing that, I was still thinking, yeah, the blanket is still gonna be too small. What can I do to make it bigger? And finally, so yeah, first, those are the squares I made with the 100 gram skein. So I have 11, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 squares. And not 20, as I said in the last episode. I don't know what happened in my brain. Because if I can do 2 squares with a 20 gram mini, that's 10 grams per square. So 100 grams, 10 squares. I did 11 because it's more like 9 grams per square. So it's a nice number. So now I have, those are DK. So I have my 2 times 24, 46 48 squares, but I only have 46 because of those two that are DK. I have the 11 more, so that's 57 squares. And that's still not a very big blanket. So what I thought was, I don't have a lot, but I have some leftovers from fingering weight yarns. For example, the one I have left from this top, which is here, that I could use to make more squares and do a bigger blanket. I really do not have not enough leftovers, so this is gonna take a lot of time, because usually when I do a garment, I will try to use everything I have, or use the leftovers in another project. So yeah, it's gonna take a long time, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I don't want to wait too long before starting to piece the blanket, because I just want things to be done as I do them. I don't know, it's a thing in my head also. Do not really want to finish all the squares and then piece them out. I want to start piecing the thing as I do more squares, if it's gonna take me years. I don't know. I'm probably gonna piece first this first half, because this is probably gonna be half of it. Join all the rows, and then join the start of the... what's the opposite of rows? Of the columns? Sorry. And then leave some yarn to finish piecing the columns. I don't know if this makes sense. Like, I can calculate how much yarn I use to piece one square, and multiply that by the total size of the garment, of the blanket I'm aiming for, and cut threads that are this length I will have calculated, so that I will have little nuggets of yarn on my blanket waiting for the next column of squares to be sewn in. I hope this is clear. I have no idea. So yeah, this is probably what's gonna happen. For now, I have begun making more squares with other yarns that are not from this advent. Wow. And I have... stay here, please. For now, I have those that I made with my Rowan yarn mini subscriptions. I actually had only 1 month because it's coming all the way from the USA, and I cannot stand having something shipped to me every month for only 100 gram of yarns. That's insane for me. I cannot ship something from overseas every month. I can't. I absolutely love this, and I would have loved to have it every month, but I can't. So yeah, I had 1 month of these minis that I was keeping for 2 years maybe, not knowing what to do with them. And finally I figured if I have 10 grams of each, I can do 1 square and put it in the blanket. So that's what I did. But I had a problem, because the minis are actually... they come in this form. They look like this. So it's actually it's a little cake, but it's squished up so you can't really see it, but it's ready to use. If I remove the label, it looks like this. So it's... oh, I just broke it. But yeah, it's a mini cake. And I noticed it quite quickly when I started working from it, but actually the yarn weight is a little bit different. It's not really a fingering. I would say it's more like a sport. Because I just did like 50 squares with this yarn from the advent, and right away I went with the row one, and yeah, it was obvious. The yarn is really thicker. So I was wondering if I would have enough, because if the yarn is thicker, it means I have less yardage, which means I probably won't be able to complete a whole square. But which also means the gauge is going to be bigger, so the square is going to be bigger, even if I do not complete the 9 rows, because I'm doing 9 rows for this. And it did happen. If I take one of these squares and put it on top of the one I'm doing with the row 1 mini, the mini's gauge is bigger. Clearly, it's bigger. And I did, in fact, run out of yarn for this, so I only have 8.5 rows, which is not enough, because those have 9. But since the gauge is different, I could get away with only 8 rows, size-wise, I mean. But the problem is, when I piece them together, I won't have the same number of stitches on the sides of these ones than these, or any other true fingering weight yarn I use, which is a real problem for me. I don't really want to have to fuss around with the stitch numbers while seaming all of this. I already hate seaming, so I do not want to make it harder for myself, so I'm not sure. Maybe I will use the joining yarn to finish the last half row I'm missing, so that at least I have the same number of stitches on the borders of all my squares. And maybe if I put these in the border of the blanket, I can maybe stretch them out a little bit and the blanket will have a weird shape. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. But now it's not the time to decide. I will just first finish my squares with 8.5 rows, and when I'm done, I will start piecing the blankets, and when I get to them, I will decide. If I do not want the squares to be bigger, I will just unravel the last half row I have made and piece them in as is with only 8 rows. And if I want to have them at the same number of rows than the other squares, I will just finish them with the joining yarn, which is great. So yeah, that's it. And I'm kind of tired of having to make all those decisions with this blanket, but yeah, I just concentrate on every square at a time, on each square at a time, trying to enjoy it, which I do. And it will be finished eventually. Next up, we have this, which is my No Sweat Shirt, No Sweat Shirt? The No Sweat Shirt by Park Williams, which is in this weird stage for now, because I'm knitting on sleeve, and to avoid having the problem of having the whole body and the other sleeve just messing around me and having to manage all of this bulk when knitting, I just put all of it in a really small project bag, so it's really compact, and I just knit like this, and I turn the bag as I go. And when the sleeve is long enough, I just turn the sleeve and the bag stays at the same place, which is a nice trick. But for now, I would like to show you the sweater, so I'm gonna take it out of the bag. Here it is. I have my skin inside the sleeve too. I knit this with 3 yarns. The first, everything that's on the top and the beginning of the sleeves, like this part, is Woolen Twine's Fiber Studio Corriedale sock base, and the colorway is Aurora, which was a festive colorway from last year, which I destashed from a friend of mine. And I had 3 skeins of fingering weights, but the sweater is DK weight, so I held the yarn double, but I didn't realize I would absolutely not have enough yarn, so I had to buy more. But Uinhir from Woolen Twine was not doing this colorway anymore, and also the base is discontinued. She has made the announcement now. She already told it to me when I asked her, but she hadn't made the announcement yet, so I didn't say anything in the podcast. But yeah, the base is discontinued for now, so I had to find something to replace it from another dyer. So I found something with Woolly Mammoth Fiber Company. She's based in Ireland, and this is the natural sock base, which is also fingering weight. This is the Wildflower Light colorway, and this is Fern. And I am, for now, marling them in the sweater using the leftovers I have from the original yarn. It's kind of a saga. It's quite complicated to do, because for the beginning of the fade I'm using the 4 colorways, because I have 2 of this one and 1 of each of these, and I'm trying to do the best fade I can. So yeah, I have to alternate 4 skeins at the same times, but it's getting completely tangled, and yeah, it's really hard to do. But I manage. But what happened is I always have the same problem with my sleeves. Actually, that's also why I love to do summer tops that do not have sleeves, because I do not have the problem that way. But it looks like I have bigger arms, which is not especially obvious, but I do. I don't know. Maybe it's because... No, I don't know. I mean, it's not... No. Since I started knitting, I think I have shrugged half of the sleeves I have knit. Yeah, it's a... I don't know, it always happens. And with every construction, with the raglan, with drop shoulders, with round yokes, always, all the time. I don't know. Most of the time, my gauge is fine. It did happen that my gauge was smaller on smaller circumference knitting, which I didn't know at first, but now I know it, so I'm careful. But yeah, there is always something that happens with my sleeves, and it did happen for this one. So I'm not gonna put it on right now because I'm too hot, but I will later on. But what happened is, before I got this yarn, I just wanted to use the most of the base color before having to stop to wait for the new yarn to come. So I started knitting on the sleeves, and I did this much, which is like 50 rows. I have the markers here for the decreases. I had already changed the numbers because I know my arms are bigger, and I know sleeves are usually too small for the bust size I cast on. So I changed the decrease rate. I made it bigger. Like, for example, if the pattern suggests 5 rows between each decrease, I made like 7 or 8 between each decrease. This means at the end I have a bigger cuff, but it also means I have bigger arm all the way through, which is what I wanted. And I don't really mind the bigger cuff anyway, because I like to put my sleeves up, so it's nice to have more and it's nice to have more room there. So I did that. And I did also the second sleeve. And when I got my new yarn here, I joined it in and I started knitting the fade for the sleeve, following the same decrease rate I had already used for the beginning. And I did I almost finished the fade, so I knit the sleeves until this length. I tried it on and I could barely put my arm in it. I mean, here on this part it was okay, on the upper arm, but here it was like completely stretched out around my forearm. It was really too small, and I had already changed the decrease rate, so I don't know what your arms look like, but actually what's happening now, but it wasn't the case before, but now I know I have a real problem with my arms, because since I started climbing 2 years ago, I have really put on a lot of muscles on the upper part of my body, and especially on my arms and my bust. My bust size didn't change at all, weirdly, but I can feel it has changed a lot, but the centimeters around did not change. But my arms did change, especially on the forearm. I have a measuring tape here, so, and it's broken also. So if I measure my forearm, 24 centimeters, which is 9.5 inches. But then if I measure my biceps circumference, 9 inches, which is smaller than my forearm. But that's when I have my arm just extended in normal state. But if I do it like this, it gets bigger, 11 inches. So yeah, I guess I do have big arms now, because it was not the case before, but now I do. So I had to rip back the whole sleeve. Up to maybe 4 rows after the pickup edge, the underarm pickup, which is a lot, because yeah, I had knit like 50 rows with the 2 base colors, and then I had done maybe 50 other rows with the fading, which was really annoying because I had 4 colors, and ripping out a fade with 4 colors alternating is a nightmare. It took me maybe longer to rip out than to knit. It was horrible. And also when knitting, I always have to fiddle around and put the yarns back in the right place because all the strands are getting tangled together, and I have to hide one of them inside the sleeve so that it doesn't get... Yeah, it's really complicated. So I was really not happy about that. I love knitting sleeve. Fortunately, I love knitting sleeve, so I don't have a problem with knitting one twice, but unraveling it was a problem. Anyway, so I did it, and now I have gotten back to the point I was when I had to rip out, and now I am beyond that point. But I haven't tried it on yet, so now, in front of your eyes, I will try it on and see if it fits my huge arms. Body is still fine. I have a lot of room here. Ah, the sleeve is nice. The sleeve is fitting. Oh yeah, oh my god, I'm so relieved. Okay, it's nice. I have room. It's a little bit bigger than I would have wanted, but it's okay. And yeah, can you see? I have almost the same room on this part than here. Okay, so what I did is, at first I had changed the decrease rate, as I said, to a certain number, and when I rip out, I did an even bigger decrease rate. I did 15 rows between each decrease, which is a lot. So I have those markers that are marking each decrease row. So until the purple one, I have 15 rows between each decrease. And then after this, I have only 10, which is absolutely not what's in the pattern, but that's what's working for me, obviously. And I didn't want to have too much of a difference in the slope of the sleeve between the beginning and the end, so I didn't want to go much smaller than the 10 rows I did for the end. So I will end up with a huge cuff. I'm almost there, actually. So maybe one more decrease and then I will have to do the cuff. Maybe I can do a quicker decrease rate because it's getting big there. I don't know. I will see. But yeah, I'm happy about the sleeve for the rest. And this is still the old sleeve. I haven't ripped it out yet, so it's kind of smaller because I have... Can you see the markers? Yeah, they are below there. So this is still the old weight, which is even smaller than the 10 rows between each decreases. So this sleeve is smaller than the other one. But for like this, it looks okay. But the problem is if I continue to decrease with the same rate, it gets too tight here. So yeah, I will have to rip this out too. I'm already losing stitches, so rip it out until here and then knit everything again with the same decrease rates as this sleeve. Yeah, so that's it. And then I will finish the body and do the hoodie and I will be done, which I hope will happen before the next episode. Probably, because it's a really cropped sweater. Maybe it will be the same length as this one, maybe 5 centimeters, can you see? Maybe 5 centimeters longer. So yeah, looks nice. I'm happy with that, but not really with that. Not sure what I will do with the cuff. I don't know. We'll just finish the sleeve and then see. Alright, I'm gonna take this off. I'm way too warm. Oh yeah, also it's the sweater is reverse stockinette on the outside, not stockinette, which is actually nice because I'm doing a fade, so the fade will look even more fade-ish with the reverse stockinette side. Can I flip this inside out if I have all this yarn? Okay, I will try. So this is actually the look. This is actually the look of the sweater. It probably just looks the same to you. But yeah. Can you see the fade? Probably not because I really choose nice colors and they are going well. But yeah, I'm happy. But I hope I will be done soon with those sleeves because even though I love knitting them, it's getting really long. Alright, next up I'm done with my WIPs and I will talk to you through some acquisitions. I don't have much, but I do have some. So this is Explorer Knits and Fibers. It was the pre-order from maybe March or April, I don't remember, the beginning of the spring. And this is the National Parks pre-order. For this, I will just put this down. For this pre-order, they had for the first time three new bases. Am I showing 4? 3 new bases. First one is non-superwash yarn, because they never had any before. And there is a fingering weight or sock weight and DK weight. So I wanted to try that out. I have actually never even tried any Explorer Knits and Fibers before. It was my first time ordering from them. But I wanted to try the non-superwash yarns to see how soft they were. So I ordered 1 skein of the fingering weight and 1 skein of the DK weight. And I also ordered one of the last new base they had, which is the Bouclé DK base. So here they are. So they actually go really well together, which is not planned. I was absolutely not planning to use the 3 of them together, but they look nice. So this one is the fingering weight non-superwash merino base. It's called Earthy Sock base, and the colorway is Nightfall. And the base is soft. It's not the softest non-superwash I have tried, but I guess it's soft enough to do a fitted top, and I'm gonna talk about the plans just after that. Then we have the linen colorway, which is a very soft beige. I do not like beige, but I figured I don't like knitting with it, but actually when I have a neutral color, I wear it all the time because I have a lot of colorful clothing, and whenever I have something neutral, it goes with all my colorful clothing, and it's just a staple. So I figured I should knit something in a neutral, and the neutral being a soft luxury hand-dyed yarn, it would be nicer for me to knit, and there is a higher chance I will actually knit anything with it. So I decided to try this one on, and it's actually really not that soft, less than this one, much less softer, and it looks kind of hairy, like there is a bit of a halo, which is pretty, but yeah, it's a bit more coarse, not coarse, it's a big word, but yeah, a bit less soft than I was expecting, so I'm not exactly sure. I wouldn't do a summer garment, like, don't do summer garments with 100% merino non-superwash yarn anyway, but I do. And I wouldn't do fitted top with this. So I have other plans that I will talk about later. And this one, I love this color so much, but it absolutely doesn't suit me. Probably because I'm Asian, so I'm already yellow, so I shouldn't wear something this yellow. I'm not saying that any Asian should not wear yellow, but I don't like wearing that. But I love this color, it's really beautiful. It's named Pollen. And what I'm planning to do with this one is a boulevard bag by Lily Kate France. And I wanted to do this bag since she posted the first picture about it. I just love it so much. I find it so amazing. It's so cool. It's so beautiful. It's so roomy. It's perfect. And she's using Bouclé yarn, so I wanted to try that out. And since it's an accessory, I figured I could use a colorway that I love but couldn't wear, so that's why I bought this. But now I have to choose a color for the strap and the detailing on the outside, and I have no idea. Probably a black, but I am kind of scared it will look too B-E. Also, my name is Maya, and I'm not sure you know this. If you're not speaking French, I have no idea if this is only a French thing or not, but there is there is a kids show named Maya l'abeille, which is Maya the bee. And a lot of people call me Maya l'abeille whenever I tell them my name, thinking, oh, I'm probably the first one to do this joke. Yeah! No. And yeah, I don't especially want to put anything on me that will appeal for jokes about Maya l'abeille. So I'm not sure I will use black with this one. But yeah, we will see. Maybe a neutral, but the problem with the neutral is since this will be for the borders and for the strap, it's gonna get dirty, so I don't really want to use something light. So maybe this blue, but this, yeah, I'm not sure for a bag. Anyway, I don't know. I will find something to pair with it to do a boulevard bag. Then for this one, the plan is to do a fitted cami, as I love it. It's my favorite kind of garment to knit and to wear because it's really small gauge and I love small gauges. I don't just love it. And it's knitting in a round and I just want more. So I'm collecting single skeins of non-superwash yarns to do fitted garments. And I will probably do either the mini mock neck tank by Jessie Mae or the My Favourite Things Knitwear Camisole number 9, which just came out yesterday. Either one of those or any other that I happen to want to cast on before. We shall see. And for this one, I'm missing something. So yeah, for this one, I would like to pair it with this yarn, which is Olann Mills. It's a DK weight. The base name is this. I do not know how to pronounce it. And the colorway name is this, which is even worse. So yeah, I got this skin in a mystery pack when the mill closed down at the beginning of the year, and you could buy 5 skins or 10 skins mystery packs for a discounted price. And I got this one in there, and I really like it. It's really a nice color, but it's a single skin and it's too scratchy for me to do either a fitted top or a hat, which is what I could do with the single skin of DK weight. But yeah, it's a little bit too scratchy. It's really soft to the touch, but I know from experience it's gonna be too scratchy to wear close to my skin. I mean, as a fitted top. I could wear it as a sweater, but I only have one, so no. So I would like to pair it with this one and do Active Duty Cowl by Maxine Sear. It's a colorwork cowl, so it will be really, really thick and squishy. And I think the pairing of the pink with the light beige could be kind of nice with the military vibe that the cowl has. Maybe, I don't know. And I'm really not sure because this yarn looks like a stick. Can you see it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And with the beige, this looks like a bone, so it's like meat on a bone. I don't know, I can't put this idea out of my mind. So I'm not sure I can pull it off. So maybe the military motif on the cowl can break this image down. I don't know. Or I can just wear it inside out. There is a picture on the pattern page on Ravelry, where the cowl is inside out. I will see which one I like better. But I hope it will be okay. Yeah, sorry if you hadn't seen it at first and now you cannot get this out of your head. But yeah, it just looks like meat. I don't know. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. I'm done for today. Those were my acquisitions and my plans for the future. And I think that's all. So now I have a little bit of footage from last week when I went climbing outside. Really not a lot. And yeah, if you have a fear of the height, please do not watch this because I am filming from the top of the cliff and it's 30 meters high maybe not that much. It wasn't really a high cliff, but yeah, maybe 30 something. And I am filming downwards. I am mainly filming the mountains, but also down below me. So if you have a fear of the heights, please do not watch this. And if I have some, I will also put some footage of indoor bouldering, because I do lead climbing outside and also, or sports climbing outside, and also indoor bouldering. And I will try to put some footage of that. I am thinking about one video in particular, which is yeah, it's a boulder inside, and I am filming from the front of the wall, and it just looks like a vertical wall, but it actually is absolutely not. It's really, no, not really, it's slightly overhanging, which means it's really difficult to stay on the wall because the holes are really bad. So I will try to put another picture where you can see the angle the wall really is, because you cannot really address it when you're facing it. But yeah, maybe it will look easy to you when you just look at the video, but remember, the wall is really overhanging. So yeah, if that's of any interest to you, I hope you will enjoy this footage. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope you'll have a nice week. I hope the weather will be nice wherever you are. And if you have any questions regarding anything I talked about, or something I forgot to talk about, please do not hesitate to ask in the comments. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!